Several years later, I get command of USS Benfold. And at the time, we weren't the worst ship in the Pacific Fleet, but we were probably in the bottom 5. The quarter before I took command, our retention rate was 8%, meaning we were retaining 8% of the sailors eligible to re-enlist. We had one of the highest accident rates of any ship in the Navy and some of the poorest performance metrics. And I take command thinking about all the things I don't get to influence. I don't get to choose our missions. I don't get to choose the people I work with. I can't go back and ask for more money to get the job done. And I'm thinking, this is it. My career is over. I've seen my last promotion. I'm not smart enough to turn this ship around. I graduated in the top 80% of my class at the Naval Academy. And one day I decided, you know what? I'm going to stop obsessing over the things that I can't influence. And instead, I'm going to obsess over the things that I can. And I realized what I could focus on was myself, because I grew up a my way or the highway, top down, tell people what to do and how to do it. And when I took command of the ship, it hit me. That leadership style may have gotten us by in the past, but people today expect more of us. And that if I don't up my game, I'm not going to be able to keep our sailors safe. I wanted to change our culture. And I'm a very simple person. And to me, culture is, would you want your son or daughter to come work for you and see you in action every day? And if you're proud, you're on the right track. And if you're embarrassed, fix it. And I decided to fix everything I was embarrassed about. I did something that had never been done before in the history of the Navy. I interviewed every sailor on the ship individually. I got to know their name, their spouses' names, their children's names, their hometowns. Through these interviews, I found out that 25% of my crew actually liked the Dallas Cowboys. And I later found out they were the bottom 25% performers on the ship. But in these interviews, I turned military hierarchy upside down. I said to my sailors, I don't care what your age is. I don't care what your rank is. I don't care how long you've been here. You can come to work every day and you can challenge every aspect of our operation. And if you have an idea how to improve a process 1%, I want to hear from you. I said to them, we can't change the rest of the Navy, but you know what? We can make our own little piece of it the best and the safest that we possibly can. And if we're 1% better today than we were yesterday and 1% better tomorrow than we are today, then nobody's going to touch us. And I'll never forget, in one of the early interviews, a technician came in and asked me how to do a procedure. And in the back of my mind, I'm thinking, you're the technician. Why are you asking me how to do this? And then it hit me. He wanted me to tell him how to do it so that if it didn't work out, he could just say, I was just doing what I was told to do. And instead of telling him how to do it, I said to him, what do you think? If you own this ship, how would you do this? He said, well, if I own this ship, this is what I would do. I said, do it. He turned in flawless performance. He turned in better performance than if I told him how to do it, because he owned it. And what I learned from that incident was, from that day forward, I stopped telling sailors how to do things. And instead, I would say, what do you think? And when they came up with a great idea on how to do it, I'd say, hey, run with it. And what do you think eventually became, it's your ship. That's what I would say to my sailors. It's your ship. You own it just as much as I do. If you see something that needs to be done, step up to the plate and take action. And what happened? Sailors started taking greater pride in themselves. And they started taking greater ownership. And they started working together better as a team. And in 15 months, the same crew that was performing near the bottom was awarded the Spokane Trophy. It was an award started in 1908 by President Theodore Roosevelt and given annually to the best ship in the Pacific Fleet. And in years 3 and 4 after that, USS Benfold won the award for best ship in the entire U.S. Navy.